What is going on, guys? It's Danny here from Metal Couch, and before I begin with this review, I'd just like to let you know that my voice is a little bit hoarse. I did 4 hours of live streaming today after I recorded this. Before I recorded this, and it was for the 1 year anniversary of the channel. So, um, this review is the album to kick off a new year for Metal Couch, and I figured, why not review an album that's classic, has a great wall of sound, and just sounds like cannons going off? A great send out to hopefully another glorious year of the channel. That album is Judas Priest's Painkiller. Now, as you can clearly see, there's this big old white blot here on my CD case. Well, that is because the people who decided to manufacture and ship these CDs thought it would be cool to put one of those annoying stickers on a CD cover. Not to mention, I didn't notice this till after I got home from the record store, but, oh, look at that. The top comes right off. That does not affect my review at all. Let's go into a track listing here once I get this situated. Track listing, we have Painkiller, Hell Patrol, All Guns Blazing, Leather Rebel, Metal Meltdown, Nightcrawler, Between the Hammer and the Anvil, A Touch of Evil, Battle Hymn, and One Shot at Glory. There are 2 bonus tracks here, Living Bad Dreams and a live rendition of Leather Rebel. So going through these tracks, Painkiller opens up the album, and that is one of the best openers you can put on a heavy metal album. Painkiller is a classic Judas Priest song, and when people think of Judas Priest, they think of Painkiller. I drop that band's name anywhere, and that's immediately the response I get is Painkiller. This song is a great representation of what the album sounds like. You've got great drumming. This is definitely a drummer's album. If you are a drummer, I recommend that you own this album. The guitars are just add to that giant wall of sound. This sounds like a wall of cannons firing off, and it's great. The production of this album is top-notch. I can understand why this album, when it was released in 1990, and by the end of the decade was hailed as one of the best metal albums of the decade. Moving in to Hell Patrol. Hell Patrol is I believe, a lot more powerful than Painkiller. It doesn't necessarily showcase Rob Halford's vocal range, but it's great. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a lot of this album. In fact, I can't think of a single thing wrong with this album, save for the bonus tracks, but the bonus tracks don't count. Now, a lot of things that I hear about this album is first-time listeners of Judas Priest will pick up this album. This will be the first one they pick up and they go, wow, this thing is fast. Judas Priest aren't known for doing speed metal. This is definitely a very, very a thrashy speed metal inspired album. It is very fast paced. It takes no prisoners. I mean, this is a thrasher's delight from a band that used to capitalize on playing, I mean, they started out playing stuff like Sabbath, and now they're all of a sudden going breakneck speed. It's insane, but I love it. So after Hell Patrol, we get All Guns Blazing, which showcases Rob Halford's awesome vocal range. Despite how silly the opening line is, I don't care, because the track is awesome. I love it. And the same goes for the next track, Leather Rebel. Leather Rebel is very powerful in terms of the vocals and the guitar work. It's got kind of a hell bent for leather. The song, not the album. It's got kind of that feel to it in terms of Rob Halford's vocals, that really tight, kind of commanding vocal. Uh, it's really great. I love that track. One of my favorites off the album. Metal Meltdown opens up with a bunch of guitar wankery soloing by KK Downing and Glenn Tipton, and um, I don't know what to think. Um, it's great. Great all across the board. In fact, it's so great that the songs are blending together as one entity. But that will soon change, as I will begin to stop using these generic terms that I hate using. I hate using generic terms for things I can't even describe. The next track, Nightcrawler. Finally something I can comment on besides it being great and powerful or all cannons going out. Nightcrawler begins with this dark, malevolent sounding, almost synthesizer work. Um, really great. It sets a dark mood. It tells a bit of a horror story. I really like Nightcrawler. And I believe that Nightcrawler is on their live set for their upcoming United States tour. So, and then we get Between the Hammer and the Anvil. On this song is where I believe Rob Halford's vocals are the best. This is the best vocal song on the album, in my opinion. Um, One of my favorite tracks off the album. And moving on, A Touch of Evil. A Touch of Evil is very prevalent with synthesizers. When I first heard A Touch of Evil, I immediately thought, oh no, turbo. I was wrong. I like it. A Touch of Evil is really good, despite the fact that it's using guitar synths, which, when you hear Judas Priest using guitar synths, you think of that dreaded Turbo album. Ugh. Then we get Battle Hymn, which is a short 1 minute introduction to One Shot at Glory, which is a very explosive album closer and a very fitting ending to this classic album. The bonus tracks, Living Bad Dreams, I could care less for. Living Bad Dreams sounds terrible to me. I could care less. And then you get a nice rendition of Leather Rebel. Keep in mind this is the remastered version, and if I had to give Painkiller a final grade, I would give it a 10 out of 10. This classic album deserves to be bought by guitarists, drummers, or people who just love heavy metal in general. This is a must-buy, and it must be for any collector in terms of heavy metal music. You could pick this album up cheap. It's like $8. And it's just a great album. A perfect 10 for Judas Priest Painkiller. This is Danny here from Metal Couch, signing off.